Hey everybody, what's up? WandaVision, that's what's up. WandaVision episode 6, which I watched yesterday but couldn't do a review on at that moment. I had to sleep on it and kind of marinate my brain a little bit, kind of figure out all the little hidden details that I wanted to talk about in this very quick recap / review on it. I will say I did actually record myself watching it. However, unlike the previous episode where they had the big Quicksilver reveal, I decided not to upload it to my channel. I decided there wasn't enough shock value moment for me to upload it. I figured uploading my full reaction to this episode would just have been a waste of time, and I apologize if you were expecting one, but that's part of the reason why I also didn't record myself watching the first 4 episodes of the season, because there wasn't anything worth reacting to on the same level as the Quicksilver reveal. So that's my quick thoughts on that. In any case, I really like this episode. I love the way that this show is going. First of all, I'll just address the elephant in the room, or rather, the camel that's in the room. The original comic book costumes from the Silver Age for Wanda, for Vision, and even Quicksilver, and slightly a little bit for what I can't remember which of the boys, is it Billy or Tommy, that actually gets super speed. But yeah, he actually does get super speed in the comics. He takes on the superhero persona known as Speed. His brother gets sort of Wanda's magic powers. He becomes the comic book character known as Wiccan. So yeah, that's all here. We see Wiccan. I'm going to call him Wiccan because I can't remember which of the 2 boys he is. Apparently Quicksilver, can't remember that either. But yeah, he's got the full Wiccan outfit for Halloween, obviously, and they're wearing the Halloween costumes for Halloween, which is a nice sneaky way to introduce the original costume looks of these characters into the show, similar to how the original Daredevil costume made its way to the Daredevil show, similar to how the original look of Luke Cage sneakingly made its way into the show. We saw a little bit of Iron Fist, but yeah, I love it when the MCU does that. I love it when they find sneaky ways to put the original, let's be honest, goofy looks of these characters into a more modern, more serious world like the MCU, and it still kind of makes sense. And then obviously they have new costumes for these characters that kind of make a little bit more sense in a movie setting. But yeah, I love how they do. I love how it's similar to how they did the original Captain America costume in the first Avenger with the floppy ears and the weird spandex-ness of it all. I love it when the MCU does stuff like that. But in any case, let's talk about the story. The story, Vision is slowly starting to realize, actually it's not even slowly anymore, he's fully aware of himself. He knows something is wrong, he knows something that is going on. We're no longer hanging out with the Vision from episodes 1 and 2, where he's completely oblivious to everything going on around him. He's no longer going along with everything that Wanda's doing, and we see that other characters keep dropping more hints to the fact that something is going on, and Wanda's definitely controlling it. We see, I think his name is Herb from the Neighborhood Watch. He's like, oh, do you want me to change anything? Is everything okay? Do you want me to do something? Well, he kind of bends to Wanda's will. And Wanda's starting to kind of loosen up on that. She's no longer trying to hide her powers. She's no longer trying to hide the fact that she's controlling everybody. Even Vision's aware of it. Pietro's aware of it. So now we've got that going for us. We see Vision going to the edge of town. He sees people far away from Wanda's control. Apparently Wanda's not strong enough to control all the people in Westview. I mean, she is incredibly powerful, and yet she still can't quite get her hand on every single person living in Westview. So they're just basically either standing around or just doing the same movement over and over again without even realizing it. I wonder if it's a case of Wanda on her own not being able to control them, if she's not aware that these people are even there, or is it she's slowly starting to lose her ability to control people? Because we even see she couldn't control Agnes properly. Agnes was in her car in the middle of the street, not being able to move without Vision's help, and then somehow she was able to snap back into it. I don't know. There's been a lot of rumors about her that she's probably Agatha Harkness from the comics. I so far have stayed away from that idea. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. I definitely think she knows more than she's saying. This episode kind of changed my opinions on it a little bit, because Vision wakes her up, and it turns out that she's just as scared as everyone is. Just like Norm from last episode. She's just like as blissfully unaware of her situation as everybody else. So I'm a little bit off the train of Agnes being someone special for the moment. I think she was just a random character that she added that was just really close to Wanda and Vision the entire time. Maybe she's got something else hidden up her sleeve. I don't know. I'm not gonna go that far just yet. But we gotta talk about. There's so much in this episode that I don't want to just spend too much time just talking about one specific character. We gotta talk about Quicksilver openly saying when the kids go out to do some trick or treating, he openly says, "Raise some hell, demon spawns," or something weird like that. Which Wanda seems weirded out by that, but I got it. Everyone else probably did, because in the comics, the twins are actually born from Mephisto, which is basically the Marvel Universe's version of the devil. Yeah, it's crazy like that, but it works. It makes sense for me because, you know, that stuff. So I wonder if it's going to turn out that the kids are actually the villains the entire time. I've seen rumors going all the way to suggest that Pietro is actually Mephisto, or Dormammu, or Nightmare, because of, you know, the hair and stuff. I don't know what's going on with Pietro. He's definitely not the Pietro that we know of. And obviously we got to talk about the fact that Wanda sees Pietro dead for just a second, like the same thing she did with Vision a couple of episodes ago. And apparently Pietro, which is played by the actor from the Fox X-Men universe, playing the same character, but he's supposed to be the MCU's version of the same character. Yeah, it's weird like that. His memory of how the events went down in Age of Ultron are different from what we know of the events. It's a weird minefield that I just don't want to get into right now, because I can literally spend hours talking about this, and I don't want this review to go too long, because I already have some stuff that I need to take care of as soon as this review is over. In any case, so yeah, that's everything going on inside the bubble. Talking about outside the bubble, we see Monica, Jimmy Woo, and Darcy try to go against the director. The director tells them to get them off of his property, and they kind of rebel against him. They knock out some of the soldiers. They hack into the system, which I honestly, I gotta say, I thought Darcy was able to hack the system a little too easily, which is kind of concerning to me. There are two ways I think I can go with this. Either security in that place is a little too easy to hack, or maybe it was on purpose, where Wanda's not just controlling the stuff that's inside the dome. What if she's actually has some influence outside the dome? What if this entire show, except like the opening scene of episode 4, where we see Monica returning and she's going back to S.W.O.R.D., what if everything else is completely controlled by Wanda, even outside this little TV sitcom bubble? What if everything is happening because it's meant to happen, like Darcy hacking the S.W.O.R.D. database as easily as she did? What's up with that? And obviously she references that Monica went through the barrier too many times, and it's starting to change her DNA. Obviously, we know that from the comics, she becomes eventually Photon, which is another version of the Captain Marvel character. So maybe that's how she gets her powers. I'm assuming that is how she gets her powers. Maybe there's something else. Maybe she confronts Wanda, and Wanda blasts her with some magic, and then her powers sort of activate. I don't know. This is just a wild speculation, prediction. She references again. She's got a guy on the outside, a contact, if you will, an astrophysicist of some sort. I don't know who that is yet. I don't want to make any predictions. A lot of people are assuming that it's Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. I don't want to go that far yet because I think the Fantastic Four is still a little ways off. And let us not forget that they filmed this show before they even had plans for Fantastic Four, as they revealed in the Disney shareholder meetings a couple of weeks ago. I actually heard a rumor before starting this recap. Something, not a rumor, but a suggestion that kind of blew my mind. What if the contact she's referring to is actually Jake Gyllenhaal's Quentin Beck from Spider-Man Far From Home, and that's how he knows about multiverses, and that's how he was able to come up with the story. What if, maybe not Quentin Beck, but the guy who came up with the story behind Quentin Beck and Mysterio and all that, what if it's someone from that direction? Because remember, WandaVision supposedly takes place 3 weeks after Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man Far From Home takes place months after Avengers Endgame, which is why in that version of events, Vision is still dead as opposed to being alive inside this bubble, which is kind of a weird space. I don't know. It's just something that came to my mind. I felt like I had to talk about it. I can't remember the name of the person who suggested this idea to me. I apologize, but that's just an interesting thought that I have. Now, to wrap up this recap, Vision tries to get out of this little bubble that he's in, and he can't because he's starting to fall apart. I don't know if it was because he just simply no one except Wanda can leave, so him basically falling apart is in direct reference to not being able to withstand the power of the dome, or perhaps, maybe, it's because he's reverting back into the original state he used to be in before Wanda took him, which was completely disassembled and taken apart by S.W.O.R.D. So I don't know if which of these two scenarios is the more likely one. And then obviously Wiccan gets his powers awakened, as they say, and Wanda just expands the bubble. We don't know how big that bubble is going to be. We don't know how far her reach is. Apparently she converted the entire S.W.O.R.D. base into a carnival, which makes sense for a Halloween-themed episode. It makes I wonder how all these people are going to be changed in the next episode. Obviously, she also absorbed Darcy into this whole thing. We didn't see what happened to her. I don't know what happens with her. I've seen another suggestion that maybe she just goes back into her Two Broke Girls character from that show. It's another sitcom which takes place in the 2000s or maybe even 2010s. I can't remember when that show came out, but maybe, who knows? Anything is possible at this point. Obviously, it's a CBS property, so Marvel is going to need CBS's permission. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't, but if they don't, maybe she's just another waitress type character like Darcy, like Kat Dennings was in that show. I don't know. The possibilities with this show are now endless, and I'm so happy that we finally have a show like this that we can talk about. Obviously, as we saw at the end, the bubble kept expanding. We didn't see it overtake the director just yet, Haywood. Obviously, Monica and Wu were able to escape well before that, but who knows? Maybe the bubble kept expanding. Maybe this bubble is going to take over the entire world if left unchecked. Who knows how far Wanda's powers are going to reach by the end of the season. In any case, we only have 3 episodes left of the season. Who knows where they're going to take this? Now, obviously, every episode was, except episode 4, was a different decade of sitcoms. This week was supposed to be the 90s. It ended up being late 90s to early 2000s with the whole Malcolm in the Middle inspiration. So I was kind of hoping it'll be more like Seinfeld or Friends, somewhere that area, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that era, or Married with Children, that sort of a thing. It ended up not being that. Maybe it's the next episode, maybe it's the last episode, maybe they purposely skip most of the 90s to kind of go in a flashback form, just like they had a flashback in this episode. I don't know, my mind hurts talking about this show, and I love it. But yeah, so like I said, they did most of the 2000s in this episode, maybe next episode 2010, which would make sense for the Two Broke Girls reference that I mentioned earlier, with Darcy being in the show now. I don't know. There are so many different directions they could take this, and this episode has already been far too long. Sorry, this recap has already been far too long for my own good. So I'm just going to leave you off with all my quick thoughts, which really rapid-fire thoughts on everything that happened here. Yeah, there's so much in just a 35-minute episode that I can just sit down and talk about for hours. It's crazy to me how dense this show is, and I just, as I keep saying, I love it. So this is all I have to say about this episode so far. What did you guys think about this crazy episode, and how crazy this show is? It continues to go even further as we slowly reach the end of this season. Let me know what you think about this show, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully, it won't be quite as dense as this episode, but I can't really say that at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see. In any case, thank you guys for watching. I'll be here next week to talk about the next episode of the show. And until next time, everybody, WandaVision! Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.